Oh yes. Look at that goodness. Kreepers. Got to start the day out with some caffeine. Got the pumpkin cold brew, which I absolutely love. And I just love the mixing of it. Looks always so cool. We're about to head down to, whoop, a little windy. Gonna head down to Gateway Shopping Complex, Shopping Center, and check it out. But I have to get some coffee in me first. I need it today. The old cold brew. We're waiting on our train. It says we got about 7 minutes till it's here. We are gonna creep down to Gateway Shopping District, well, Shopping Center, kind of like a strip mall. We've been to a couple recently here in Portland. Recently we just went to Lloyd Center Mall, and it was pretty dead, so we're gonna check them out. And also I found some old-timey pictures of some places that you guys might remember that I'm excited to kind of see what things look like these days compared to some of my favorite old shops here and places in Portland. So stay tuned. Today's definitely gonna be a good one. We got a couple more minutes before the train gets here, and then we'll hop off at Gateway and I'll show you guys what it looks like today compared to what it looked like when I remember going there. Guys, just got off the train, and this is the transit center, so we're gonna head around to the opposite side, which is the Fred Meyer's, and then we'll walk over to the other little place. I can probably take this off now too, now that we're off the train. 1954 Fred Meyer right here was already here. He decided to fund the shopping district. He thought that it would help improve the entire area, including Fred Meyer's. He figured if he helped build that, then not only people that would come to shop there, but they would shop at the Gateway Center. So 1954, it's been a long time since then, but we're gonna do some compare shots of what it kind of looked like right as it, you know, started to open. They were one of the first places you could actually drive up, and they had like an old-timey payphone, an old telephone that you could order your groceries. They have a similar setup these days, a little bit far more advanced, but I'll insert the pictures here. And I think, if I can recall, President Kennedy actually showed up to one of the events. I'm not quite sure exactly what it was that he was officially here for, but we're gonna creep up here to Fred Meyer's, see what it looks like now compared to then. There's some pictures of an old arch. And then they've actually kind of sort of recreated the arch, the big gateway arch that Fred Meyer's actually helped build. So we'll talk more about it, but let's go up here and do some comparative shots of actually some of the places that I miss dearly and function. They're not functioning anymore, but I went there plenty of times, so we're going up here now. All right, so here is Fred Meyer's, which once we get up here, you guys will get a little better picture of the door. I hope that, or the front rather, and I hope it's not too windy to where you guys can hear this. If it is, I might have to maybe voice over some of this, but here's what Fred Meyer's Gateway looks like today from this side. And the shot that I found earlier is actually, I believe, on that side, so we're gonna go around the opposite side. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys what it looked like as of today. Same layout with the building, not really changing much. All right, so this would have been the angle. I think it's a little bit farther back on the street is where the camera would have been sitting, but you can still see where the Fred Meyer sign really hasn't changed spots. And then the arch would have sat right over in here at the opening to Gateway, which they've kind of recreated the sign a little bit. But here's that shot here. They've changed all the street lamps and stuff, but pretty much the same layout, like I said, walking up to see the front. But here's that shot that many years later. Pretty cool. All right, walking up here to a couple spots. Well, I guess we can do here first. Here's Kohl's, which was which does really good business now. I actually really like Kohl's. But for years this was Mervyn's, and I actually found an old-timey shot. You can see in the shot it's, you know, the same spot. Obviously it's the building and the signage has changed, but that'd have been it right about there. Can't really see the Kohl's too well with the trees. But that would have been it, the last shot of Mervyn's right when they were closing. I think there's even like a banner up there saying store closed at that point. So another one. But Kohl's has been here now for a while and they do really well actually. That's a little bit better view of Kohl's sign. But yeah, Mervyn's for many years. I remember coming here with my aunt and they had these like huge Sesame Street. I think there was like a Big Bird. It kind of scared me actually. I was probably... Okay, I got confused. I thought the one behind us was IZZY'S, but IZZY'S was actually here, which is now Proactive Physical Therapy. But yeah, many a times here to IZZY'S buffet. Oh, it looks like they've combined the two. There's actually a physical therapy and a Wingstop, which actually used to be all IZZY'S here. And that shot would have been right about here. You can still see the handicap parking and where the signage would have been. Yep, still got the red, the original red. Not just for IZZY'S, but you know, this whole strip. Yep, definitely miss IZZY'S. We just saw the one on 82nd closed as well. If you guys want to go after this and check that out, it's kind of cool to watch. Kind of sad to see them close, but yeah, this is now two places in one. Or, you know, it's two places. It was only for IZZY'S. That was the like little buffet area and you would order over here. So Wingstop now. All right, let's go to our next spot. So when Fred Meyer basically, you know, put the funds towards this spot later on, like in the late 70s, early 80s, the properties around here had really bad problems with sewage and things like that. So not that many people expanded this area as much as he thought they would. A lot of people branched out to where, you know, the streetcars and the Maxes and everything like that were being utilized a lot more. So didn't really go over as planned. And yeah, they've had a hard time keeping some businesses in here. A lot of these ones that do well over the years, like Ross and stuff, they've been here for a long time. And I told you about Kohl's, which was Mervyn's. So unfortunately, you know, they had a hard time keeping people coming here over the years with, you know, other malls being established as well. Okay, now that I'm looking at it, this makes way more sense. This whole strip was Tower Records and the sign was actually right where actually the Jamba is now. But this entire strip, including the entrance there, that would have been Tower. And this would have been the shot right about here that I'll show you now. And if you look closely, you can actually still see the Carl's Jr. in the shot as well. So they're still here all these years later. But yeah, Tower Records, definitely a shame. I loved coming here. And now there's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 places in the one spot, which was Tower Records, one of my favorite places to visit. We definitely came here many of times as kids and bought CDs and probably fooled around a little more than we should have. Definitely missed them. And roughly right about here, this would have been lit up because in the shot it was at night. But really, Fred Meyer's and Office Depot are still hanging tough. Kohl's, like I said, you know, Mervyn's years later, or Mervyn's years earlier. And if you look, you can see all the Tower signage lit up at night. Pretty cool. Pretty crazy to see things change. So we got Ross behind me and Kohl's still hanging tight. And it looks like we got T-Mobile here and then nothing in this last one. So it's not totally, you know, bare bones and vacant like most of them. Like this place here, it's totally ghost town. But I have to say, Gateway has hung tight. I like how they've even made these kind of bigger arches here for the Gateway kind of architect. So that's gonna do it from Gateway Transit and Shopping Mall, I guess you would call it. And not too shabby compared to most of the strip malls that are really dead these days. They've been able to hang tight pretty good. Fred Meyer's now, you have to go on the complete opposite side to get in. They've closed down the entire back section. So as you can see, still a ton of parking here for a lot of land that's not being used. That's gonna do it from Gateway. I love you guys. Thanks for creeping with. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. That will link you into being a creeper. You can ring that bell. That way when I creep, you guys will be the first to creep. Creeper out for now. Peace.